Hello, it is Wednesday, August 24th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Wednesday puzzle, of course, so maybe we're stepping up just a little bit in difficulty from the early Monday and Tuesday puzzles. It is another themed puzzle, and today's themed edition of the Daily Solve is brought to us by Trash Snack, Bradley Purtle, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shulmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Self Patreon campaign, for directly supporting this channel and helping make this series a sustainable part of my daily work. I do very much appreciate that. So thank you to the 5 of them, and thank you to everybody who has backed the Patreon campaign at any level. I do very much appreciate that. And if you'd like to join their ranks and get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve with a link in the description field underneath the video, of course. And if you are interested in exploring becoming a benefactor, you can get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug as well. You can also subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everybody who's done that. Like I've been mentioning recently, we are slowly creeping towards 10,000 subscribers, which is very exciting. So thank you to everybody who's helped make that approach, I suppose. And then you can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link in the description field underneath the video as well. So this is one of those days in which I have not a huge amount of time, so I'm going to try and solve this reasonably quickly, and let's get on with it. So today is a Wednesday puzzle. Of course, it was constructed by Colin Ernst. This is Colin's second puzzle for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's see what our two-time constructor has in store for us today. On point. If something's on point, it's apt, maybe? It's appropriate, it's on point in a sense. I'm not sure about that. Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Sounds of relief could be ahs. You could say, ah, what a relief. Apt seems like it's correct. She blank, she, her would be 2 feminine pronouns. And place for cultural studies is what? Why don't I see what that is? Oh, there's a question mark. It's some kind of pun or wordplay. So maybe cultures in a chemical or biological sense. So a something lab maybe, or something class. Not sure. Fair market price, say. I'm just not seeing these. I wonder if apt is indeed correct. Lots and lots. Tons of or something, I don't know. Not flexible, rigid maybe? Something to live by. Maybe not rigid. Oh, maybe you could live by an ideal. I was thinking of things like a creed or a credo, but you could live by an ideal. Top of the ladder in brief. 1997 horror film with the tagline, "When you can't breathe, you can't scream." Maybe this isn't. I don't know. I'm not very confident about this rigid and ideal situation here. I wonder if this, I never saw this film, but I vaguely remember there was a horror film about snakes or a snake in the 1990s called Anaconda. And do anacondas, do they constrict you like that? I wonder if that's what that could be. Something to live by. A tenet, maybe? A tenet of, your particular faith or something? A step up, perhaps. A stair? Lots and lots. Loads? Here we go. Okay, maybe this, no, this is obviously wrong. Okay, I keep piling on different possibilities here, and it's not really working. I need to find some way to prove which of these ideas is correct. Advertiser of the Year Award. It might be this, because this is a Clio. I know of those. I think I maybe first heard of those actually because they were referenced in Mad Men, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. And the Clio Awards, the advertising awards, came up in the plot of that. Anyway, noisy squabbles. Arouse. You could have a row, an argument, a noisy argument. this must be a thematic clue. It's italicized, which often indicates a theme clue. You can cancel that gym membership. I don't know. Maybe this is Y-O-U-R right here. Not sure. No one in particular could be any. And says yes silently would be nods your head. Moves into position as troops. This looks like an A. Why can't I see what this is? That's so frustrating. What about this? Only landlocked country in Southeast Asia. Laos, it must be. And then similes center. So a metaphor compares things without using like or as, but a simile is like a metaphor, but when you expressly say, this works as a something. So there we go. You can't get lower, or no, as a. You can't get lower than this. The nadir, the lowest point. There we go. Okay, so this all feels like it's correct to me. Maybe this is floor rather than your. Not flexible, stiff. There we go. Okay, similar to rigid. All right, this is finally all being confirmed as correct, I think. Lots and lots could be scads. Yes, scads, lots of something. And moves into position as troops. Is deploys. There we go. Don't know why that couldn't get that earlier. Top of the ladder in brief. Oh, top of the corporate ladder. For instance, on a corporate org chart or something, you could have a CEO, Chief Executive Officer. All right, it's super cozy and a breeze to clean. Studio apartment? All right, so that is you could imagine this being, oh, I see. These italicized clues. These are fictional sort of quotes from rental listings, that kind of thing. This would be a bullet point or a bit of ad copy in a listing for a flat or an apartment that you're looking to rent. So you can cancel that gym membership. So there's something about, don't know. What about this one? The space. Oh, whatever. We'll just get there when we get there. Comforting gesture. A pat. You might pat somebody comfortingly. Creator of Christopher Robin is the author A.A. Milne, the creator of Winnie the Pooh. And to take 10 is to rest or to break. Oops. Cubist Picasso, Pablo Picasso, the artist, and baseball's all-time RBI leader. Well, Hank Aaron is a baseball player I've heard of, and I've heard of him in a context of being a particularly famous and successful baseball player, so I bet he's the all-time RBI leader. Usual beginning. Ah, right. So literally the beginning of the word usual, a long U, usual, as opposed to, I guess, usual. Or usual, I guess. Winning is on top, and Shakespearean schemer would be the character Iago. Ah, right. You can cancel that gym membership. Maybe it's a 4-floor walk-up or a 5-floor walk-up. So no need to go to the gym. You'll get all your exercise on the stairs. I don't really think there's any way to determine that without crosses. Could be 9-floor walk-up, I suppose. Consider could be to deem. Could deem this puzzle, of reasonable difficulty for a Wednesday. Consider it to be so. Site for sponges in the ocean could be a reef. Sponge is the aquatic creature in this case. Fair market price, say. Oh, true value. Okay, so here we have a 5-floor walk-up. It still could have been 9 until the V came in. And a place for cultural studies, yes. I was on the right track, but I couldn't quite close it out. So it's a petri dish. So one of those circular glass dishes that you use to place a culture under a microscope to inspect it. So you study the culture in a petri dish. It is a place for cultural studies. That's very clever. Mild yellow cheese could be Edam cheese. And a bloke could be a fella, maybe, in a kind of dialect sense. We're losing the W at the end. Tiny, tiny could be lil, so we're turning little, we're making the word little tinier and turning it into little, which is sort of similar to fella in that it's contracted. School with the mascot Mike the Tiger. Well, it must be LSU. Louisiana State University, I guess? Is there another L? I don't know. My guess is Louisiana, but I'm not sure. If you're winning, you're ahead. And Anne of Green Gables town. You know, I've actually never read Anne of Green Gables. And I don't know the town in which it's set. So let's keep looking. Word on Italian street signs. Could be via. Oops. Via for road in Italian. And PM times. Afternoons, I guess? Afts, afternoons? PM meaning prime meridian, so referring to, as opposed to, so AM and PM, times of the day. Okay, 0. Why don't I see that? Symbol in the center of the Japanese flag, right? So we have the kind of radiating circle in the middle of the Japanese flag representing the sun. And 0 is ought. There we go. Could be ought or could be not, depending. I suppose ought, slightly more American, and not slightly more British, although both are used in, I think, each country in slightly different contexts. Maybe not quite less often in the US, but anyway. Painter's coat. Oh, gesso. That's a kind of paint. It's sort of a base coat or something. I'm actually not completely certain about that. Low-cut t-shirt feature. Low-cut t-shirt feature. Of something, sling neck or something like that. I can't think it. I don't know. Maybe I'm on the wrong track entirely. To seal the deal is to sign in ink, maybe? Not sure if that's right. John M. Blank, director of Crazy Rich Asians. I do not remember the name of the director of that film. Cereal staple. I don't think this is right. Like the planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. What links those? I don't know. It'll probably be obvious when I see it, but I don't yet. Tuba sound. Oompa is sort of... Or wah, maybe? Oops. Oh, that anaconda. I never considered the fact that that turned out to be correct. That's funny. Okay, anyway. Big name in laptops. Acer is a computer manufacturer, so that's probably the case. Discretion could be tact, maybe. You're going to operate carefully with discretion and tact. Part of PG. Okay, this isn't WA. Maybe it is PA. It must be, actually it is PA, because part of PG, that's in the U.S. film rating system, that stands for parental guidance. And if things exist, they are. As straightforwardly as that. Something usually found in brackets. Don't know. What about this? Undecided. I don't know that either. In the slightest, at all. I can't figure out undecided at all. Hawks could be cells. So hawks could be a noun, of course, the animal or kind of metaphorical way to refer to people in certain contexts. But in this case, I think it means to hawk your wares, to sell your goods. Okay, little bits. Iotas, maybe? I think that was in the crossword within the last couple of days. That's a pretty good crossword word. Not one iota, not one little bit. Undecided. Oh, you're torn. You're undecided. Right. Okay. I was thinking of undecided in the kind of negative sense that you've not yet decided. Which, I mean, torn is that as well technically, but it's more actively choosing between two options, whereas I was thinking of not even yet being at that point. So I was thinking of it in too specific a sense. Anyway, something usually found in brackets. Does that help? Oh, a tax rate. Oh, I see, as in tax brackets. Right. Okay, so for instance, in an income tax setting, you'll have different tax rates depending on your income, and those are your tax brackets. Okay. This space has endless possibilities. Oh, it's a fixer-upper. It has endless possibilities because you will have to determine what this place looks like because it is currently a disaster. A real fixer-upper is what I would assume there, but nadir I'm pretty certain is correct. So let's keep looking around. Oh, source of the euphemisms found in the clues for 1723 and 48 across. So it is, oh, real estate something? Real estate, listing? Or, I mean, it's obviously not, but I can't think of it. Anyway, let's go. Eurasian Range, the Ural Mountains. So real estate advert? No, it's too long. What about this? Form of attachment. Don't know. One-time divorce capital of the U.S. I'm guessing it's Reno. I don't know why that is necessarily. Maybe I'm just guessing that because it's a gambling town, and it just seems like the kind of place that would be associated with that sort of thing for some reason. Maybe the law in Nevada is very conducive to easy divorce, but why not Las Vegas? Maybe because Las Vegas would feel too much like a celebration, so people go to Reno instead. I don't know. Form of attachment. I don't know that either. Oh, and there is a question mark, right? So there's some kind of pun or wordplay going on here. So maybe it means attachment to an email or something. I'm not really sure. Low-cut t-shirt feature, a something neck. Oh, right, sloop neck. Swoop neck. Is that what I'm trying to think of? I sort of have this in my brain somewhere, but I can't land on it for some reason. Cereal staple, oat. There we go. Right. Many cereals are made of oats. Well, I guess oats is a cereal grain, but I think what this is referring to is a dry breakfast cereal. Okay, practical thing. And, oh, like the planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are they outer planets? And then John M. Wow, maybe, or something? I don't know. Seal the deal. Why don't I see what that is? What about this? Blank engineer, civil engineer, maybe? Array in an electronics store. TVs, maybe. And gold standards are carats? Is that K-A or K-R? Is K-A? Gold standards, carats. Oh, a real estate agent. Yes. An estate agent would be the person who formulates all of these claims. That's endless possibilities, or you can cancel that gym membership. The space is endless possibilities, etc., etc. Okay, form of attachment. Oh, a JPEG. So an image could be, it was an email attachment. So you could attach an image to an email. Practical thing, a practical joke. There we go. Seal the deal. Oh, shake on it. Right. Why didn't I think of that? So carrots. Oh, it was neither an R or an A. That was silly. It was a T. Carrots. Right. That looks right now that I see it. Okay. John M. Is this really swoop neck? Why can't I decide on what this stupid t-shirt is? So John, is it Chew? Oh, scoop neck. That's it. And John Chew, that looks actually like a name, unlike WHU or whatever I had in there a moment ago. So, okay, so these are outer planets. We have John M. Chew as the director, and a scoop neck is the low-cut t-shirt feature. And that finally sounds correct after my strange blundering around in the dark trying to land on that. All right, Anne of Green Gables Town. Here we have endless possibilities. What have we not seen yet? Eclipse to some. Could be an omen. So a solar or lunar eclipse could be seen as an omen, and probably often has been. Where Gandalf declares you shall not pass. Well, that was the Lord of the Rings, but I'm not sure. Cries of agreement. Amens, maybe? Clothes that may come ripped. Oh, jeans. You might have jeans that are sort of pre-distressed. And then could be maybe? Oh, like the planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, the inner planets. There we go. That's very nice. Not part of the theme, just a nice little echo there. I really enjoy that. Okay, Indian tea region. Oh, Assam? Right. So was wrong. So would be a sort of filler word. And then, oh, major fixer-upper. And so where Gandalf declares you shall not pass is Moria. That sort of sounds familiar. So major fixer-upper, and there we go. All right. Very nice. I really enjoyed these. I mean, I think many of us recognize this genre of listing. There's one that I've noticed in UK listings, which is located on a quiet residential turning. And those three words, quiet residential turning, there's almost a Tourette's-like level of usage of those of that phrase in flat listings here. Anyway, good puzzle and fun fill. I think actually a nice, pretty wide-ranging fill. I enjoyed this little outer and inner thing right at the well, for me it ended up being at the end. It could have been anywhere for you. But yes, a nice puzzle, nice theme, something many of us can relate to, I'm sure. And like I said, I do have to be moving on today, so I'm going to get on to yesterday's clues, of which there were a few, I think. So let's take a look. Maybe just two. So James Dickey points out ants on a log, which I couldn't quite place. I was thinking it's some sort of baked good, maybe. Simpler than that. Ants on a log, according to James Dickey, at least in my childhood, was raisins on a celery stick filled with peanut butter. And Nicole Hicks adds, or cream cheese. So there we go. I think I was sort of vaguely aware of that. I've never eaten this myself, so I guess that's why it didn't come to mind particularly quickly, but I'm certain that is correct, and that is what I was thinking of, even though I couldn't quite visualize it in my head. And then Nicole Hicks is back to explain that dabbin, or the dab, is the name of a dance move believed to have originated in the Atlanta, Georgia rap scene. It includes both hands raised high to the same side of the head, one partially obscuring the dropped face into the inner elbow. It's always fun when someone has to explain something like that, something visual like that in text, and I think Nicole did an admirable job. And so yes, I definitely recognize the dab, and that's what I had in mind yesterday when I filled it in. But I guess I just didn't, and this is just because I'm out of touch, I suppose. I didn't really recognize it as a dance move per se. I don't really know what I thought it was. Just kind of a gesture. I don't know. Don't come to me with these things. I'm hopeless. Anyway, but it makes sense that it would be a dance move. So thank you, Nicole. All right, that's it, I think, for today's video. So thank you for joining me for the Wednesday crossword. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday puzzle, in which we step up the complexity of the theme, most likely, and I think generally step up the difficulty of the broader crossword fill in the grid. So that's always a bit of a marking point in the week, I think, when we get to Thursday. I hope you'll join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.